Hello everyone, welcome. Quick video on how I made this deck and put this artificial grass in the garden. Welcome back to project time for another project. So this is what our garden used to look like, and as you can see it needed an upgrade pretty bad. And with an old wooden pallet I made a mock-up of what a deck would look like and to determine the height, which looked quite good. So started preparing, started digging some hole to put some posts with concrete and then build a deck from there. So when all the holes were done, it was time to cut the posts to the correct length. These ones are 12 by 12 treated lumber. It's around just over 4.5 by 4.5 inch. So when the posts were cut to the correct length, I put some screws in the bottom and then I put them in the concrete. And in order to make sure that all the posts would be sitting at the correct height, I put a little line from one side to the other and I just leveled it out with that. So when the posts were all done and curing, I had to remove the old stairs. They're made from granite. It was super hard to remove, but in the end I got it. Luckily, I only needed to remove the top stairs. And for the attachment of the deck onto the wall, I just basically put this piece of lumber onto the wall with some wall plugs and screws, and that would give us a good connection with the wall. And this beam here on the wall, I leveled it out with my laser level, just as all the other beams that will be attached to the posts later on. And this is the kind of work where my impact driver really shines. It's an amazing piece of tool. The one I got is the Makita DTD154 and I highly recommend it. This is what the structure of the deck was going to look like, but first I needed to make sure that the bottom part would look nice, so I filled it up with sand. I put this fabric on here that I still had for my garden to prevent any roots coming through, and then I filled it up with the old artificial grass that I had laying around. So with this artificial grass below the deck, it's gonna stay a nice and clean area. And I put some weather stripping on top of the beams to make sure that it stays good for a long time. And then when the structure of the deck was finally done, it looked really nice. It was time to pick which deck we were gonna put on top. So this is artificial decking that we tried. In the end, we went with a real wood one. We did consider hardwood, what you see here, but it turned out to be super expensive. So we settled for this, which is a treated lumber in a brown color, and the end result is very nice. Here you can see how I cut out the profile so that the corner looks nice, and only these two boards will be screwed to the deck and all the other boards will be done with clips. So here I forgot my camera stand, so I was filming with one hand, and yeah, you can't film with one hand and cut square, so you gotta believe me, I cut it square. Also, if you don't have a speed square just like this one, get one. It makes your life so much easier. These are clips that come with the decking system. They're made from a hard plastic, so basically you just slide it in, hit it with a hammer a little bit, and then put the screw in to fasten the deck. So this deck was coming along nicely. Here I'm about halfway, and this is the finished result in the end. But of course the rest of the garden needed a bit of overhaul as well, so I leveled it out with sand. I put some anti-root fabric, and then we put new artificial grass on top. Now here you see it's just installed, so it doesn't look nice yet, but later on it's going to look very nice. So here you see the final result. It looks really nicely. We put some furniture on the deck, and it really transformed this garden. If you're interested in the shed that you see there in the background, I built it completely myself as well, and there's a separate video just about that shed that you can watch here on my channel. Thank you very much for sticking with me to the end. I hope you really enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and go build your deck.